Hey everyone, Sirens Thunderbolts 1003 here, and today I thought I'd just go over my board here for what it is as of April 2026. So here's the board as it stands. So as it stands right now, it's kind of being worked on to improve. But yeah. Anyway, I just thought I'd show you guys what is within these. So I think the first and obvious one should be the timer. And then I'll go ahead and show a few things as soon as I find what I'm looking for here. Particularly a screwdriver. Anyway, so let's go ahead and open this up. Inside, it's pretty ignore this wire. This is sort of experimental as I'm currently working on it. But anyways, you can see the 120 enters the timer here. And then the black wire just comes over here and jumps to here for providing power. Because these two contacts right here are the switch contacts, which provide power to this contactor, or I'll get to this in a minute, but either side. But as you can see here, I have 120 taken over and bringing it to the common. And then out comes 120 volts to complete the circuit for this to power on. So as you can see, I got like a 18 gauge wire here for thermostat wire or something like that. I think it's what it's called for the particular package. So it comes with like a few wires, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wires in there, which is pretty much all I needed. Wires like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wires in there, which is pretty much all I needed. Anyway, so that's just that. As you can see, I do have new LEDs on this timer as well. So like these are LED. They work pretty well. I actually have the old set right here somewhere. Here they are. So I replaced these with new ones. It's just from DigiKey, so not that hard to find. I just replaced those ones because the amber on mine was gone, basically, or flickering. But I think it pretty much died the last time I used it. So anyway, here's nothing special. It's just a power supply for above, which we're gonna go into next. This is the radio and tone decoder, not an actual radio though. How it works is, if you've ever heard of Zello, push to talk app, basically a walkie-talkie app, but just a little more nicer than the generic apps you find on the App Store and things like that, where it's like Bluetooth or what junk. This is sort of a lot. Zello is a lot better for this. So as you can see here, I have a Raspberry Pi with a relay shield. How it works on here is there's a software that decodes the two tones and then triggers an external script, and that external script controls the relays here to send the command to turn them on for like half a second to pulse to trigger the timer. So anyway, the Zello is configured on the in there as well to work to pass audio to the decoder. So that will decode the two-tone for me. What you see here is the on-off switch for the Pi itself. Whenever I'm having any issues with it, say it disconnected on me for some reason or whatnot, I just flip this switch off and then on again to get it working again. And here's the Wi-Fi dongle. I know they have onboard Wi-Fi, but I wanted something better to make it external, so I got this little one here that I found on Amazon that allowed SMA connection to go out for this antenna here on the side. As you can see here, I got like a audio coming out. This is just other audio. It comes here to this amplifier board, and then the speaker here allows you just to hear the audio. If you want, here, let me play an audio that you can hear. Bit lousy audio, but it works enough for me to say, hey, you know, it's on, it's receiving. And up here is the converter for converting the 12 volts down to 5 volts for this board here. Is actually that little connector right there. Sorry. But yeah, so a lot of improvements were made over this. Quite a bit of time ago. But yeah, so that is this decoder and radio decoder, so to speak. But anyways, going down, this is just a box for the power supply to provide 12 volts to it. It's just a regular adapter. I just hacked off the plug end and put it to wire nuts and whatnot. Anyway, coming down to this setup here, this is the emergency stop button, which is wired from the output from the timer. So the timer passes through this first, and then goes back to here. You can kind of see it there. It just circles back into here, and then it comes down here, and the power gets selected to which output. So right now it's 30 amp, which is this little contactor here, a 30 amp contactor, which runs my Model 2 Sirens or something similar. Switch that to 45, and that goes behind here to this box, which contains my 45 amp 3-phase contactor for running bigger stuff. As you can see here, like I said, this is still kind of under work right now to improve it. But anyway, yeah, so this is a solid state overloaded, solid state, meaning it does it electronically instead of, you know, the old alloy melt elements that would go across the terminals and melt if it overloaded. So but anyways, yeah, this is the 45 amp contactor. Here's my, so power normally comes in the bottom of this. This is the motor disconnect, good for 60 amps, 600 volts. So that's good if I ever want to run any higher voltage sirens. But right now I have to change these plugs out because they are currently not 600 volt rated. But that'll be done just a little. So anyway, power runs in, comes to the top, and then outputs from the bottom through the solid state overload relay. And it just goes down here and to my current plug. So but the power for this contactor is routed from like underneath this back plane. There's a hole in the back here that allows the wires from the other side and the junction box to pass through. It's not on any connector or anything to connect the two boxes or anything like that, but it's just a hole through the board. That's about it. Okay, how about I go through this disconnect switch just for kicks. Oh my goodness, I had this come off. Here we go. Okay, so to view this is my little chart here to show kind of my connections that I use. So this one right here is the 240 volt operation, because I do have different plugs here for, this is the way I have it set up is this is a dual voltage setup, meaning 120 volts or 240. So I just used a 125 volt plug here. Let's see if I can, yeah, right there, 30 amp 125 volts. So it's a little different than a 240. So if I ever wanted to plug in a generator, that's what this part here does. This is the converting cord. So it converts the 125 volt down up to 240 volt plug. So here you can see these are the other bits here. Some might be incorrect a little bit, but the idea is just to give me some notice as to plug in what I want here. I have the cords right here. Right now I just kind of have it rolled up, the two cords into one. So, but yeah, these are the 125 cords. And the converting cords I have here. Here's the 240 converting cord, so 125 to 240 for generators. If I wanted to plug that in, I've never used it yet, which is, I guess, interesting enough. But I probably would have used it at some point, but for now, not. So if I come over here, here's a lot of the plugs here. So this is the the output wire thing here, so I can go to any siren I want with this output. So anyway, this is the output wire that I have connected to a plug, so I can use my extension cords. This here is the inlet for power. So if I just take my extension cord and go to a generator or something and I want to use the wires, I also have this regular plug for 120 volts stuff to work with this. So anyhow, I am going to demo you the encoder. Right up there is my long set of extension cord right there. So, but yeah, see if I can get this for you. Okay, so I'm gonna run through some tones that will trigger this. So let's go ahead. I'll start with alert. Here's an alert tone first. Okay, here goes alert. We'll send cancel now. Okay, we'll send attack. Cancel again. This is a different kind of tone, but this is attack again. It's just on a different tone trigger. So here it goes. Once again, cancel. Okay, we'll set it up in a sequence here by alert, other tones, and cancel, and an alert tone. So here goes the sequence. As you can hear, the audio isn't the prettiest, but it does work, so it's all that matters to me. Anyway, you can see it's cycling, or was cycling. I could turn on a contactor here, so let's turn on the front one. So we'll go ahead and cycle the front one with attack using the special tone, so to speak. Okay, there goes attack, and you can hear it clicked on. I'll open the contactor box for y'all so you can see. That way we can get a understanding kind of just the workings of the contactor here. I'll get opening with the screwdriver. There you go. Let's get a good view here. Oh. There's that. I'll do a quick demo hookup here with a Siren onto a battery as soon as I put this back together here. Okay. So here's what we got going on. Battery is connected through the inlet here. This goes through here. Let me there we go. So the battery gets connected, goes into the 10 gauge wire going into the disconnect, and now we are connected. And on the, so here's the Siren. You just take the plug here, plug it in. Here's the extension cord. Take this plug, and here is the output from the contactor here to this plug. 30 amp rated, so it's good. You just, oh dear, some of the pin got a little bent, but that's fine. You just put it in, set it in, twist it, and you're good. Let me fix the battery because it came undone. Okay, so you see it's got light, surprisingly, for 18 volt. Okay, so we'll close. Hold on, we'll not. Okay, hold on. We will do radio control. So I'll set this in the thing again, if it even works properly. Get those two in the view. So my gray siren right here is the one that's running. Let's go ahead and send it an an alert command, followed by the two other demo tones, and then we'll send the cancel, and as well we'll do the alert tone. So we'll send that sequence. Here we go. As you can hear, ran through the cycles as it should. Now there is a hit and miss sometimes with the tone decoding, so sometimes it's like I would say 90% is the good decode. No, my bad. I would say 95% is the decode amount that it has successfully decoded, and the other 5% are somewhere like the very odd times that it has not. So but yeah, so if you want, you can see the inner of this disconnect, which I just redid today. So here's the lines. These are your 10 gauge wires right here on these two lugs. So the load goes here and the in line comes in from there. This is the 120 volt power here for the timer and stuff. So as you can see, there's two wires attached to the lug there, which is also the radio decoder power supply and the wire for the master plug here for the outlet. And at the bottom is, of course, the AR timer and the contactor power. I wanted this to work where when this is switched off to have that still work, the radio decoder and time thing there, and the timer to shut off when this goes off. So that's what I wanted. Anyway, here's the emergency contactor disconnect. Just thought I'd demo this board here and just show it because I haven't made. I was looking on my feed, my videos list, and saw that my last board show was some time ago, which was like on this wall or something over here, and it was just a timer and a contactor, which was only, that spot was ever temporarily only, so it never was going to stay there. But yeah, this is the portable board. I take this with me on any meet that where we do sirens and stuff. So that, yeah. Anyway, yeah, I just thought I'd show this setup. And yeah, sorry for not lack of videos. I just have been pretty busy, and it's kind of been not so great of weather too. Like some days are snowy, but lately I've been looking for Saturdays and the weather's just been rainy. So